Hiya, it's nice to see you again. Today in our video, we'll be talking about the importance of play in the learning and development of children. In our last video, we went further to talk about building a positive relationship with the children. And in the course of the video, we spoke about play and its importance in the learning and development of children. Today we'll be talking extensively about how play develops the children, not just develop them outwardly, it also develops their brain. So if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to like and share this video. Now, play creates life chances for children because through play, children tend to explore their environment, they learn problem-solving skills, they build social interactions when they play, and play is very vital to the language and communication of children. Now, in my last video, I spoke about how most of the times children are not allowed to, ideally they shouldn't sit for too long, they should be on the go. Now, I'll go into an experience I had when I first came to the UK. My first job as an early years practitioner. On my day of induction, I was taken into the room to get to meet the children. Now, when I got into the room, all I saw is that the children were playing. And then I asked, there was no learning taking place. What's going on? And the manager told me, this is the learning. Learning is actually ongoing as we speak. And then I looked to her and I'm like, can I have a look at the curriculum? What's your curriculum? What's your scheme of work? And then she laughed and she said to me, we go by the children's interest. And that struck me because where I come from, children are made to sit down, listen to the teacher stays in front of the board, or if the teacher is one in tune with an interactive board, mostly the teacher is in front of the class teaching while children sit around the table and they're watching the teacher. It doesn't go on that way in the UK. In the UK, in my nursery, we have various areas of learning. So every day when practitioners come in the morning, what they do is set up activities according to the children's interest, going by the 7 areas of learning in the OEYFS. Now, I'll go through the 7 areas. We have the prime areas, and then we have the specific areas. The prime areas is we have communication and language, we have personal, social, and emotional development, and then we have physical development. That's on one side. Then we have what we call the specific area. So a child has to have mastered the prime areas before the child can begin to talk about the specific areas. Now, the specific areas are the maths, the literacy, understanding of the world, and creative arts and design. Now, how does play then come into the 7 areas of learning? We engage the children through play, through using these 7 areas. Now, when a practitioner comes to resume in the morning, the areas would have been set to putting in consideration the interest of each of the children according to the key children, what we call allocation. Now, for instance, I have my own key children. A group of children are assigned to me and they are my responsibility. So what I do is I tailor my lessons in such a way that it meets the interest of every child that are my key children, so to speak. So basically, we have what we call in my nursery, for instance, in my room, we have the home corner, or we call it the role play area. Then we have the construction area. And also we also have the maths area, we have the science area, we have the reading corner, we have the literacy corner, and then we have the messy play corner. Now, a lot of the learning goes on while these children are playing in these various areas. Now, it depends on what the children like to play. No one decides for them what they want to play with. When they come in the morning, they go straight to what is of interest to them. For instance, Jack loves role play. So when Jack comes in the morning, after having breakfast, he goes straight to the role play area. Now, the activities that we have set up for Jack is such that learning is taking place and Jack is learning as he plays. Now, you can have babies lined up and you can put numbers on each of the babies. Now, Jack is playing with the babies and is having knowledge of the numbers that have been placed on the babies on his or her role play bed, so to speak. Then we have fruits, we have food items in the role play area, in the kitchen area. We have, it's just like a normal home. So Jack is more like he's at home and he's also learning while he plays. Now, going back to the key, the 7 areas of learning as I spoke before. Now, play helps children to develop language and communication as they play. Now, when they are playing, conversations are taking place. Now they begin to interact with one another, and there's always an adult. I mean, it's an intentional learning. Now there's an adult in their midst who communicates with them as they play. So conversations goes on as Jack is playing and making food in the kitchen. Then we begin to talk to Jack. Hi Jack, what are you doing today? And Jack will say, oh, I'm making sausage pie. And then we'll begin to ask, so, oh Jack, I can see you've got 3 sausages in your plate. Can we count? 1, 2, 3. And that's how learning takes place. So learning through play is a method that I would encourage anybody to use, especially those of us who come from Africa. We're used to the rote counting ways, or we call it the cramming ways of teaching children. It's no longer applicable. Jack needs to have a sense of autonomy when he plays. He needs to feel in charge. He shouldn't feel, oh, he's coming to school to be in a cage. He needs to feel like he's having fun and is learning while he's having fun. Now, how does play develop Jack's brain? Remember, Jack is playing with his hands. A lot of the times, like I said earlier, is an hands-on learning. So Jack is playing with his hands, and while he's doing that, there's a message being sent from his hands right down to his brain. There's a communication between the hand and the brain. So Jack, while doing that, will never forget what he or she has been taught. And that's how they learn in the UK. They don't come to school like, they come, the child sits for 2 hours learning rote counting. No, we don't do that here. What we do in the UK is children are always on the go. Like I said in my last video, they are always on the go. They are encouraged to explore. So they are moving from one activity to another according to their interest. Let's not forget the fact that everything we do is based on the children's interest. What do they love? Does Jack like ice cream? Now, whatever I'm teaching Jack will be centered around what Jack loves to play. I've seen a child in my nursery who loves to construct. He likes trains. So every time he comes to the nursery, he lines up trains. He puts, we have the train tracks. So that way we get to teach him using trains. So we build his conversational skills, his language and communication through the train. So we begin to discuss with him, engage him in conversations. Oh, hello. Oh, I can see you love train. Oh, how many trains have you got? And then we count together. With that, he begins to develop love for learning and learning through something he or she likes to do. Now, I would like to continue to encourage you to please like and comment. More of this will come in our next video. We'll go extensively into how play develop the children's brain. See you in my next video. Bye.